My name is Isabel, and I'm doing cancer biology and therapeutics at Cardiff University. So I'll be speaking on the Chevening Scholarship Application. There are like two sections to this. I'll be talking about the application in general, and then my colleague would talk about the essays particularly. So, unlike other scholarships out there, Chevening application is quite straightforward. Okay, so you simply have to check the Chevening's website, www.chevening.org, and then there's a place to just start your application. So yeah, like I said, I don't have a screen to share. I'll just explain the basic parts of the application process so that when you start eventually, you'll be able to follow through on it without so much troubles. So before you start, there are some documents you should have handy: your degree certificate, your transcript, letter of recommendation, an international passport, or any other official ID. If you have these, then you're good to go. Then for your school applications, you'll be needing a statement of purpose, English proficiency tests, depending on the school you're applying to, a professional CV, also dependent on the school you're applying to, and then a letter of recommendation. Please bear in mind that the Chevening application deadline for this year is 1st of November. So that's like in 2 weeks away. So if you want to apply for Chevening, then you should begin to get your things together if you've not started. I believe a handful of us have, but for those of us who haven't, this would actually be much of help to you. So there are 5 sections of a Chevening application, a Chevening scholarship application. There's the background section, essay questions, application information, terms and condition, and then a section for uploads. So I'm just going to run through what you expect in every of the sessions that you would need. So the background section includes personal details, your name, your sex, where you live, just basic stuff like that. It also allows you to select a preferred interview location, contact details, education details. Also bear in mind that the minimum requirement for achieving scholarship is a 2-2 degree from accredited universities in your country. So you should also have work experience, and that's very particular to Chevening. At least you should have 2 years work experience, because you're going to fill that in during your application. And when we say work experience, over time, people get to shy away from the application because they say, oh, I don't have work experience until I'm an undergraduate, things like that. But here, when we talk about work experience, or when Chevening says work experience, it includes paid or unpaid internships, self-employment, freelancing, full-time, part-time, voluntary opportunities. Like it's encompassing. Okay, so just look for something. For those of us who schooled in Nigeria, maybe at some point you did your IT. Your IT, you can add that to your work experience. If you've undergone the mandatory service here, you can also add that. So just look for lots of opportunities and gather them together. Make sure it's at least 2 years. Yeah. And then you should not enter more than 15 work experiences for your application. So the next part is the essay questions. So for the essays, you'll be asked to answer a series of short essay questions on 4 key areas: leadership and influence, relationship building and shared learning, studying in the UK, and then your career goals. So there's a section dedicated to that, and I will not delve into it, but then just bear that in mind. Going further, the 3rd section is the application information. So this part is particularly important because you have to select 3 universities to apply to. And unlike the Erasmus Mundus program that Chivike had spoken about earlier, an application for a Chevening scholarship does not automatically cover your application to a university. So what that means is you have to, first of all, you have to apply to Chevening and also apply to your choice universities. So Chevening allows you to apply to 3 different universities. So it means you have to apply to these 3 different schools, and it's entirely up to you to select whatever school you want, provided that those schools are partners with Chevening. And then you also get to select your courses as well. So your choices could be in any of this form. 3 different courses at the same university with similar course titles. 3 different universities or 3 different courses with similar course titles at 3 different universities. Or 3 courses at 3 different universities, all with the same course title. So it's left for you. Let me use my application as an example. So I applied to like 3 similar courses at 3 different universities. So just do what works for you, okay? There's a course finder link on the Chevening application that allows you to check for your course of interest and then look at the schools that are offering such courses, look at their course modules. If it's something that interests you and you meet the eligibility criteria, then so yeah, and then still on that application information, you get to fill just you get to answer questions about your immigration status, like have you lived in the UK before, things like that, just very basic questions that you can answer without help. The next part is terms and conditions. So you have to accept that you would attend mandatory Chevening events held in the UK, that you would remain in the UK during the period of your award, you abide to Chevening's social media and messaging policies, just basic stuff. Yes, I must add, Chevening is not a JAPA scholarship. For those of you that want to JAPA, you must accept to come back to your home country at the end of your program. It's particularly important that we state this because I know some of us on this space want to JAPA. Chevening will not allow you JAPA. Once you finish, please carry your bag and start coming back home. Don't cause problem for the other people, please. It's very important anyway. Because although I didn't do a background introduction about Chevening, but Chevening is one of the UK's fully funded scholarship, okay, that is aimed to raise. Want you to go back home and implement what you've learned over the last 1 year of your master's program to make your community, your country, or as the case may be, better. So please bear that in mind. Then the last part of the application is uploads. So you'll be required to answer questions bordering on equal opportunities. If you feel like you're part of maybe a minority group in your country, you can get to just answer that, And then it's on that section as well that you get to upload your documents. So you can either upload your degree certificate if you have it, or your transcripts. Those are the accepted documents to prove your education history. Then there is the part to upload a conditional offer or an unconditional offer. It's basically what we call acceptance letter in Nigeria. I don't know where you're joining from, but in Nigeria, it's what you call acceptance letter. So some schools in the UK would give you a conditional offer of admission, ask you to provide some other documents. Some others will just go straight to give you an unconditional offer. So if you have a conditional or an unconditional offer for your proposed course of study, this is important. You should not be worried about the admission at this point, because I've heard people ask things like, I don't have admission yet. It's not a problem. 2023 admission would it will most likely start next year, maybe around January. So you've still got time. What you should be bothered about now is making your applications and writing an outstanding essay. So, and then that's the part also where you get to upload your passports or your ID documents. I know that some of us don't have passports, and there are lots of hitches right now in Nigeria with getting passports. So if you have any other official ID documents, you can upload it. But bear in mind that if you get invited for the interview, you need to come with a passport. That's what you would use to prove your identity and all of that. So there are key deadlines you should bear in mind while making your Chevening application. The first is of course, the Chevening Scholarship deadline, which is 1st November 2022. It's like 2 weeks away, about 15 days away. And then there is the deadline of 21st February 2023. So let's say you don't have your transcripts or your degree certificate, something to prove your educational history. You can submit your application without those, but please ensure that you get these documents before 21st February 2023 and upload them. Okay? And then there's also the deadline of 13th July 2023. That deadline applies to getting an unconditional offer. So, of course, you cannot get the admission or you cannot get the scholarship and not have where to take the scholarship up. So, Chevening gives you a lot of time to get admission, and that's why the deadline is further off, 13th July. In all your gettings, get admission before 13th July and upload that unconditional offer letter, and you'll be well on your way. So on the application form, there's a big red button just at the bottom of the page. It reads submit. So every time you upload anything or you make any adjustment to your application, you just have to click on submit. There are two options. There's a drop down arrow. So you need to select save draft. If you save draft, it means that you still come back to this application. Okay, it's just a way of refreshing the page and updating your application. Where you feel that you're comfortable with all you've done, all you've written, and you have a good application. You've written your essays, you've dotted your I's and crossed your T's, then you can click submit to Chevening. Please don't click submit to Chevening when you know you're not ready to submit to Chevening, because once you submit, there's nothing you can do about that application. That also applies to documents. Any documents, that modification was made this year. So any documents you upload to Chevening, you cannot delete it. So be sure you check out your documents before you upload them. But yeah, if you made mistakes in your entries, you can always click the delete button at the side and then make another entry. But that does not apply to documents that are uploaded. So as soon as you're done with your Chevening application, please proceed to the universities of your choice and start your application. Ensure that the schools you're applying to are schools that will take you for admission. Check their eligibility criteria. Be sure that you meet them so that you do not apply to schools that at the end of the day will not give you admission. And of course, the 3 schools you're going to settle for eventually, you would have to add them to your application. You have to list them as well as the courses you're going for. So you would not have the opportunity to change those on the long run, except God helping you, you get to the interview stage. At the interview, you're allowed to make changes if you want. But if you don't, then you cannot change them. So check all of these things before you choose your schools of interest. And with that, you'll be just good to go. I think that's the basic thing about Chevening. So like I said, it's a straightforward application. Just go to www.chevening.org, create a profile, and start your application. Use the course finder or postgraduates.com. I'll drop links in the chat session anyway. Use the postgraduates.com or course finder to look for eligible courses, and then you apply. Finally, there's a fee cap on MBA programs. So if you want to do an MBA, there's a fee cap of £22,000. So if your school fees is above £22,000, what that means is Chevening will pay £22,000 and then you get to pay the rest. But that does not apply to other programs. My program is my tuition fees over £23,000 and Chevening is paying. But if it's an MBA, the fee cap is £22,000. So I think that should be it about the Chevening Scholarship Application. Thank you.